Hello my friends, your buddy Phil here, project management trainer and coach here on the streets of London, England, but not forgetting some of you are getting ready to take your exam. Huge shout out to my buddy Gabriel, who's going to be taking his exam very shortly. So Gabriel, I want you to think about this like a 1 day to the exam tips and tricks. You've got approximately 24 hours. So what would I recommend that you do? I recommend that you focus on having a calm mindset. What do I mean by calm mindset? Well, calm, C-A-L-M, stands for C for cool, calm, and collected. A for action ready. L for being a leader of yourself. And M is being mindful. So let me explain these one by one. You got to be cool, calm, and collected. Don't be frazzled. The exam is 90% mindset. It's how you feel, your emotional state going in, which needs to be calm. You need to be cool. You need to be collected and composed. Don't let anything frazzle you. In your mind, you need to see yourself already as a PMP. Okay? So don't think of, oh, I just need to get the bare minimum. No, go in there really thinking, I'm going to get the best possible score. I'm going to blow this thing up. That's what I mean by cool, calm, and collected. Okay? You've got to be really cool and calm as you traverse this exam. Don't be scared of it. Don't be alarmed. It's so important, okay? Now, what do I mean by action ready? By action ready, I mean you need to be ready for anything the exam throws at you, because the exam will throw stuff that you didn't even think you would see. You could have questions that sound strange and weird. You could have questions that may sound comical. And then, like my exam, you might be faced with the decision of doing the questions out of order. Like for me, I decided I was going to do my questions out of order. I got to question 20 in 1 hour. And I knew that if I continued like that, the exam wouldn't end well. So what did I do? I jumped to the end of the exam. At that time, you could go to the very end of the exam. So I went to the end and did my questions backwards. So if you ever feel like you need to do your questions out of order, you need to jump to question 60 and go 59, 58 like that, do that, But you got to be action ready. Action ready means ready for unexpected things. Let me give you another example. A student of mine went into the exam and the power just went. There was a power cut. I think she was on question maybe midway into the exam. They suspended the exam for, I think it was about 3 hours. Can you imagine that? You're taking an exam that's meant to be 3 hours and it's suspended for 3 hours in the middle. So tell me how you would cope with that. You got to be action ready. You got to be ready to face the unexpected. Another student of mine in London, England, traveled quite far for his exam because he lived on the outskirts. Traveled so far, got to the center, and the center was closed because it was snowing. You see, so you got to be action ready for the craziness. L is leadership, and L is also less is more. Now what I mean by that is you've already done everything that you need for your big day. You've done everything. There's nothing more other than prepare your mindset. It's too late to begin cramming stuff. You don't even need to cram stuff. You don't even need to practice nothing. You just need to be mentally there. I would advise that, tonight before the exam, just do something calming, like watching a soap opera or drama or a movie. just do something that you enjoy, okay? Do something that you like, and just let your mind be calm, okay? L is for lead yourself, and L is for less is more. By leading yourself, what I mean is you need to be able to shut down all the activity. Just shut it down, okay? You don't want to be studying the last minute into the exam. There's no need for that. So lead yourself by shutting things down. 6 o'clock, 7 max. Don't do that crazy burning the midnight oil the day before your exam. It's not helpful, okay? Shut things down and just get into a really stable, calm, relaxed, enjoyable mindset. And last but not least, M, you just got to be mindful, okay? Mindful and in the moment. And what I mean by that is, as you're going through the content, be mindful of the Agile Manifesto, the values and the principles. I just heard from a student today. He said, Phil, my exam must have been 60% agile and the rest agile, 60% hybrid and the rest agile. Think about that. That's a lot of agile. For you to say the questions were so mixed that it seemed like it was all hybrid and the rest was agile, it just tells me that you really need to be into the mindfulness of agility. You're going to have a lot of agility that you need to uphold on the exam, okay? The last thing I would share with you is the PMI principles and the agile principles. They just about sum up the exam. So when you talk about the people domain, be a servant leader, don't be a draconian leader, always put the team first, always look for solutions. Don't push the assignment to someone else, like, oh, there's a problem, escalate it. No, that's not what PMI is looking for you to do. They don't want you to be a crybaby. So escalation needs to be like the very last resort if there's nothing other than escalation to do. So you want to have that mindset of, I'm a problem solver. Okay, there's a problem on the project, the stakeholder raises an issue, what should you do? Don't choose the options that say, tell the stakeholder it cannot be done. Tell the stakeholder that the project is going to be delayed. You know, things like that. Most of the questions want you to solve a problem or the next best thing. So when you're tackling people domain questions, even process questions, just be a problem solver all the way. Solve the problem. Don't go crying, mother may I. Don't go crying to the sponsor. Don't go crying to other stakeholders. Just solve the problem. Look for the best way to solve the problem. When it comes to the process domain, a lot of the questions want you to understand what should come before something else. So you obviously know that you cannot create a work breakdown structure if you have not collected the requirements. You cannot collect the requirements if you've not already created your project charter, right? You cannot create your project charter if you've not already done a business case or a benefits management plan, and things like that. That's how you need to be thinking about this test. And then when it comes to cost, when it comes to quality, again, the sequence of things. So what happens first, right? What happens first in the area of cost is you estimate, then you budget, then you control. In the area of quality, you plan, then you manage. So just understanding what comes next in that knowledge area level, and also what comes next in the process group level. They're not going to ask you specific process group rote questions like executing process group. No, they're gonna dress it up with a lot of language, and they're gonna ask you what comes next. What should a project manager do next? Okay, so if I was gonna say hard wrote what should happen next by process group, you're not going to get a whole lot like that. It's going to be a lot of logic